morning, everybody, and it's a light mist right now. Gray skies. Happy Monday. We got you in the ShiftCam, but I'm going to have to find a right angle USB-C plug and figure out a better way to mount this thing, because right now it's just hanging off the ShiftCam. But we're running on the external for right now. So I'm so happy I made the change. I wish I would have watched that footage yesterday morning after I imported it, because that... I can't even remember the brand. It starts with an L. Best Buy sells them too. Because it was only a 5 megabyte per second. If you notice in the beginning, it's going kind of stuttering. This one here, smooth as silk. So, if you're looking for an external, I don't know how long Best Buy is going to have them on sale, because this unit right here originally was nearly $400. Got $180 off of it yesterday when I got it. That was kind of the reason I pulled the trigger on it. They also make the 4 terabyte Pro. It's like a 20 gigabytes per second, but I felt like $300 was putting too much. Alright, so right now this is kind of what we got going on here. Try to let go of things here. Yeah, so that's quite large. That's why I need a right angle. I'm barely in the ShiftCam at all. And on the back side, we got this just hanging for right now. Figure out a way. Sorry about the dog hair on it, but it is what it is. Story of my life. So, not the most ideal thing, plus the fact that I have to have the phone naked, and it's barely holding in the ShiftCam. I didn't even bring the big handle with me because I just don't feel it would have been very smart the way this thing's set up. I probably could have got away with it now that I look at it, but didn't know that at the time. And the fact that we're running a little on the light side. Yeah. Light is taking its sweet ass time coming in the mornings now. At 6:30 when I went to jump in the shower, it was still pitch black outside, so it is not very bright out right now. Of course, this rainy skies aren't helping anything. I believe it's supposed to clear up and be nice the rest of the week. We'll see. I don't know if that's true or not. Try to do some side-by-side videos. I might do more than one on this. I don't know. Part of me wants to set up a rig where I can run both 15, 14, and the S23, because that's got to go back. I finally got my printer heads cleaned enough that I can print the label. Red is still not working quite right. That printer is a pain in the you-know-what. I just don't use it a lot, but I did print really high-quality pictures of Priya and Mateo not that long ago, and it worked just fine. I've cleaned the heads, I think, 4 or 5 times this morning. Finally got black to work. That one wasn't working at all. Now it's working. So I'm going to give it another couple cleanings, get red working. I really don't. It was you have a battery in this box, but I have the box from this that I'm going to put it in, so I really don't need that. Just need to get the UPS label printed. USPS, United States Post Office label printed. Yeah, it's kind of weird that they ship their return devices back via the post office, but hey, whatever. So, alright, this is kind of cool. It's got to dream up. Well, I got to get an adapter. Once I get an adapter, then I'll be able to go straight up and down with the cable and figure out a mounting solution. But I think the concept of not using up my phone storage every time, the only other problem is I can't use the microphones at this point. I did find a Belkin adapter, $35 at Best Buy. I don't know if it will do this. We're going to have to give that a test, so I'm not sure when we're going to pick that up. I kind of kicked myself in the ass last night on the way home. I was like, shit, should I turn around and go get it? I already spent, an enormous amount of money. What's another $35? Did replay one of the clips last night and slowed it down 50% with the rain falling. I don't even know if you can tell, honestly. And right now, this is 4K 60. Again, nothing. No, you know what? Look at the traffic. As I mentioned, you can use 4K 24 as well. So any of the options under video, you can use the external drive. Once you switch to like cinematic, slow motion, all that stuff, photo, none of that will save to the hard drive. If I would have had this a couple Friday nights ago, in 30 frames per second, I still have 566 minutes of available space, record time. That's insane. that is insane. So we'll get this figured out mounting wise, so it can be, and try to figure out how to get the audio set up as well. It could be a little bit of a challenge trying to find something that's compatible with the transfer speed. That I think is where I might have an issue, because I don't know if Mike and I were talking on the way home I called him and I said, do you think those little tips are going to make it where my USB 3 Gen 2 speed is going to work or not work? So not sure if that could be an issue. Someone out there in Techland may be able to answer that question for us. I really wish I would have put like a rain jacket on this morning, because I'm getting, it's just like a mist, and we're all getting a little on the damp side here. So I don't think this is going to be a full lap. This is going to be head through the playground, make a lap around the bottom side, and go home. So is this what my 12-hour Monday is going to look like all day, or is it going to clear up and be beautiful while I'm at work? Something I just noticed with the little black border around the titanium frame, kind of reminds me of the RoboCop, the original 1987 version, with the black and titanium. It's kind of crazy. It's pretty. I like the standard, the raw titanium look with the gray back. It's definitely lets you know it's a different model. That's why a lot of people go with this one and the blue one, because the silver and white and the the titanium and white now, and then the black, they basically look like any other iPhone before. So some of you might be asking the question, gee Kurt, it's drizzling outside, do you feel safe having the drive connected? It's kind of why I'm happy I went with this one versus the other one. Even though it said rugged, all they did was put a bumper around it. This one here is a pretty rugged setup unit. It's not classified as, it's extreme. So it's designed for the elements. Have it thrown in your backpack, be able to use it in situations that, the way they advertise it, it's like people in the desert. And if I wouldn't submerge it underwater, don't get me wrong, but I think a little drizzle isn't going to hurt it. I hope. That's my thinking. But we'll find out. And I should be able to still get back home, pop this into the Mac, and import the footage fast enough that I'll have everything off of it before I even leave the house this morning. That's something I like to do, is get all my footage imported, especially on Mondays when it's such a super long day. That way one step is done when I get home. And now with the transfer speeds being so fast, I don't have to worry about it. The one thing I will say is, when I tried to hook the Insignia cable to the drive and put it into the Mac, that one didn't recognize it. I had to use this cable, this tiny itty-bitty little 4-inch cable, to make it actually transfer and show up on the drive. No big deal. It's just super short, but it's doable. So let's keep that in mind. I know maybe a higher name brand might work better. I prefer if I could have gone with a Belkin, but I got what I could get. But the other cable did work with the iPhone. Boy, not being able to switch hands back and forth, that's tiring on a long clip. I forgot about that. That's why you see me switching back and forth with hands. It kind of balances out my muscle usage between hands on recording. A lot of times you'll see me lately switching hands, knowing if there's a car or something coming, depending what side they're going to pass me on, I'll swap hands so it's facing the other direction. All right, let's go through Spiderweb Land and finish the rest of this half lap and get home and get dried up, have another cup of coffee, and get rolling for work. Actually, going back to the whole audio connection, the one thing I thought about last night was the fact that I don't know if there's enough room to plug in the DJI directly into that thing, or where are you going, Mateo? You want to pee on that tray? Because it's USB-C, USB-C, which means I'd have to add another dongle to connect the DJIs with the audio cable. Now, with the Rode, that won't be a problem. That's a smaller cable, and that might work. And that's another test I want to do, is does the USB-C to C cable from the Rode work with the iPhone now. So, more testing. Like I said, this is going to be ongoing for a little bit. I just wish we had a little nicer weather so that I wasn't pulling out expensive microphones in rain. That's not good. Which reminds me, I need to pull out the mic and the receiver out of my jacket pocket from yesterday. Yeah, I got home and I dropped the microphone down between my seats, and I hope I still have the magnet. I hope I didn't pull the magnet off of that. It might still be stuck to my seat. I had a hell of a time getting it out of there. And we'll have to look at that when I get in the house, which we're cutting its lap pretty short. So just getting them out. They both are their number 2s and number 1s, so they've got enough walk, make a cup of coffee, check the mics, and then I'm gonna have to search for a magnet on my seat. Alright, well, he's not done piddling. See the puppies before this day starts, because it's gonna be dark when I get home. Yes, it will. We'll do some night testing on the way home, probably do a time-lapse test. That'd be another situation where how do I mount with the hard drive in the car if I want to use 4K 60. I don't know, lately I've been dumbing it down and just turning ProRes off in the car. Those clips are just so long. Something to note, you cannot record all modes in Video app. If you turn ProRes off, you can no longer record externally. Okay, so ProRes, 4K 30, 60, 1080, and 24, and 1080, 24, 30, 60. ProRes only. Interesting. Alright, good news is magnet is still on the back of the mic. My very matted down fuzzy. Like I said, I scotch taped over the ports on that. I don't know, is there? Oh, hey, let go of that. No, there is a USB-C port on that, but it's usually under my shirt. So I'm not so worried. I worried more in the summertime with if sweat would ruin these, but this guy here, I'm going to get electrical tape and probably cover those, because I'm never going to use any of those ports for my own use, because right there's the charging for the dock. Gotta finish your breakfast and then you get your treat, puppy. You can do it. Taylor's already gobbled his down. He's not a slow eater, as you've seen. Just to be upfront, I think only one clip was actually filmed in 4K 60 in this whole test. It's just the idea of being able to store on the external. So if you decided to go with, say, a 256 megabyte model or a gigabyte model, and then add storage to it and figure a way to mount it, you can save yourselves actually quite a bit of money, because you could start off at, what is it, $11.99 for the 256, and then, pick up one of these little SanDisk models. I mean, there's other ones out there. I just went with, I asked the Best Buy, I said, which one would you recommend? He goes, that one. They do make a Pro model that is quite a bit more money, and Best Buy is running them on sale, so I don't know for how much longer, but saving $180 on this one, I felt like it was a good thing. You only got a couple bites left, puppy pup. So, just a concept. Alrighty, here we go. Why is media not available? Oh, there it goes. Alrighty. Hopefully, I turned things down on the mics because in the car yesterday, it was just so loud. And you don't know why. That was really weird. Let's do that and turn the defroster on. Oh, man. Yeah, I didn't want to get up this morning. I don't even know if I mentioned it. I kept hitting snooze. Should have got up a little bit sooner than I did. I mean, got everything done. I'm getting out of here on time-ish. I'd like to get out about 35 after now that school's back in session, because this up here is a disaster. Gives me just that time to crawl through and get to work on time. Oh, man. Slept like a log, though, because last two nights I actually went to bed. Priya had the couch last night, and I didn't want to disturb her, and then she comes over with me. I thought about actually, when I got up at one point, just go to the couch. Then I had to move the iPad over to the other room. But the problem, like I said to Terry, is the iPad's so close, sitting on my little stand next to the bed, that I can just keep hitting snooze, whereas when I'm sleeping on the couch, I can't do that. I have to get up, and then once I'm up, I might as well get up. So, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I could move the iPad to another spot. I'd have to find another plug, though. Yeah, it's still like a little misty thing going on here. Yeah, this school thing is all backed up. That figures. It'll be all right. So what I've come to find out is if I do this at the right time, the crossing guard's not out here stopping traffic. And I'm about, 12 minutes too late for that. Spin test complete. Yeah, the other case that I got from Walmart, I did return that yesterday too. It was only like $16.11 was my return. Not that it's a bad case, but for the way I'm using it, I need a little stronger magnet. And because the silicone case is a little softer, it kind of adheres better. Has less slipness. But it doesn't also bump the windshield and knock it off the MagSafe. Super important not to be dropping the phone with the magnets, with the microphones connected. Alrighty, everybody, let's do some low light testing with the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Ugh. And we'll go right there. It's going to swing a little bit because this thing does kind of crop. Good evening, everybody. It is pitch freaking blackout, but it is beautiful out. 64 degrees. The rain is gone, I think. Even though my phone said it was going to rain earlier, it never did. Yeah. So get home. Get the puppies around, take them for a little half a lap, do some low light vlogging with this thing. I think it's still pretty cloudy. I don't think we're going to see any stars, but I'm going to do a time lapse on the way home just to give everybody that. And I think I'm just going to leave it in 4K ProRes. I'm not going to knock it down to turn ProRes off just so I can get full quality. So I got on Amazon on break and I found the right angle that is a 10 gigabyte per second adapter, and I had to step up. I'm pretty sure I would have been really screwed if I would not have done this. I found a Belkin USB-C. It's a 4-port hub, a little bigger than I need by 2 ports, but it is a 10 gigabyte per second as well. My fear is if I don't have the speed, the drive's not going to work. So I don't know how I'm going to mount all this stuff yet, but my thinking process is put everything on the hard drive as much as possible, because the whole concept of having 2 phones, 2 cameras, is simply the fact that if I'm importing and something goes on and I can just unplug it. But it's a hassle then, like this morning, the damn, I got to replace that drive, or not the drive, but the hyper drive. Mine, the one I have that was still around is shot. And it kept just wiggling a little bit and disconnecting all the phones. So, problem is that's also my HDMI port. So, with that, I will be able to, I mean, it'll have multi-uses. I'll be able to use that instead of, I won't have HDMI on that, but I'll be able to use that to plug in the camera and the microphone and the phone or the hard drive, both with having 4 ports on a USB-C. So I didn't think they split them before, but it's Belkin. I mean, it's one of the more trusted brands, I think. Amazon had it for $10 more than what the one at Best Buy was, and it was only an audio one. This one's supposed to be all data. So I don't know if the audio is going to work with it. That's going to be my other problem. Will the audio actually work? Now we're continuing our night testing with a little bit of a mist falling right now. It's not too bad out. Kind of messed up the going through the windshield a little bit. I just kind of had to tap the screen and get it to focus where I wanted it to. Hopefully it's clear. It looked like it was, and it looked pretty sharp. Now mind you, I do have my exposure turned down to a -7, so at night that's probably not where I should have it. It's definitely going to make things a little bit darker. But actually, to me, it feels like it's a little more natural. It's not super bright out here. And the flash on this is actually a little bit less annoying to the eyes. Of course, it could be in my transition contacts, but the other one seems to be much more abrasive when you're trying to film like this at night. So, yeah, so we're going to try out these adapters. Like I said, I just don't know if the Belkin's going to do audio. I don't know if the phone's going to allow you to do 2 different things. This could be a test that's going to be a fail. It's kind of the only way to learn, really, is to find out what does and doesn't work. So I might have to sacrifice my audio if I want to use the external drive, which will kind of negate my use of it long term. Okay, sure, Priya, we'll just stop Dad dead in tracks in the dark while he's blinded by a light. So, I mean, Priya looks pretty good on screen. So, I think Mateo's actually showing up pretty good. You can see the colors of his pattern in the back. So, you want to go to your fire hydrant? Okay, you're over here, and he's going that way. Hold on, Mateo. Alright, I'm actually trying something different with the microphone. I actually turned it around to see if it works any better this way. I don't know when I go to switch it around, though, for me. Let's try this. I think facing toward the back is better. Oh, geez, almost walked into a dumpster. Can't see. Actually, holding it this way might be better. I don't know if it's going to be... it might sit in my pocket better. You guys have got to walk a straight line. I didn't plan on going this far with him, but Mateo went up the hill, so we went up the hill. Alright, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you for watching. If you did, let me know with a like. I'd appreciate it. Let me know that you're enjoying what I'm doing here. Testing out the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Yeah. Any questions, concerns, ideas, let me know in the comments. And I will see you guys as always tomorrow. Did take some night photos. I'll include them at the end of this video. And I'll see you in the morning. Have a good night.